I'm booked in next week, mucker. This country is a fucking shithole.
These are Muslim values. These are Canadian values.
How many kids did you molest with Jeffrey Epstein?
More than just elbows.
All right, elbows out, elbows up.
Gang, what's up? Aaron right here, Canadian Looney. So we've got our Prime Minister here who is so creepy and awkward. Like, now that it's been exposed that he really has no negotiating skills. Like, he's got his guy Doug Ford, who is now his new right-hand man. Let's take a peek. Everything about this stuff is so creepy. The body posture, like, everything is really peculiar. Let's take a look. One hell of a creepy prime minister.
Reticent to
because
talk
I'm
about
a good
that.
because I'm a good negotiator. I have negotiated a number of situations in the past. I know how to manage crises.
Prime Minister, can we get an update on how trade talks are going? How are they going?
Good morning. Bonjour.
How are trade talks going?
Look, well, actually, I'm just going to meet with Minister LeBlanc. We'll have a discussion of that, and important discussion with Premier Ford this morning on a variety of aspects for the Ontario economy, the Canadian economy, which of course includes trade, but goes much more to the issues that we can control and how we build out from within.
Like what would some examples be?
Well, we'll talk about the housing sector. We'll talk about steel, auto, new sectors of the economy, including artificial intelligence. What we're doing in terms of making Canada competitive.
What's your advice to President Zelenskyy regarding should he accept any deal?
I gave that advice yesterday in a meeting with President Zelenskyy and the coalition.
And what was it? What was it?
Do you have any
well,
comment
you
on
can-
Air
you can
Canada,
take
sir?
it
Anything
at-
to say to Air Canada union workers?
I'll say the following. We recognize very much the critical role that flight attendants play in keeping Canadians and their families safe as they travel, comfortable as they travel. And it's important that they're compensated equitably at all times, fairly at all times. That's the reason why there have been negotiations over the course of the last 8 months. It is disappointing that those negotiations did not come to an agreement, and it was the judgment of both the union and the company that they were at an impasse. That's not my judgment, it's their judgment. And so we are in a situation where literally hundreds of thousands of Canadians and visitors to our country are being disrupted by this action. I urge both parties to resolve this as quickly as possible, and the Minister will have more to say. Minister Haidoo will have more to say later.
Did the government make a mistake imposing binding arbitration on the weekend?
Super creepy, right? Like, it's not just me. Like, that is a creepy man. Anyways, let's watch that creepy man with another creepy man. We've got a hash dealer turned premier of Ontario, Doug Ford. Look at how awkward this all is. Like, it must be made up. It seems like we're living in a simulation.
It's a great pleasure to welcome the Premier back to Ottawa. I know you're a busy man and getting a lot done since we saw each other last time. And I'm going to take this opportunity to congratulate you again on your leadership, obviously, of this province, but also of the Council of the Federation at a critical time for the country. The work of the Federation itself, but also the work of the premiers with the federal government at a critical time for our economies has been essential. And je voudrais saluer le leadership du Premier ministre Ford de l'Ontario et puis du Conseil de la Fédération pendant un temps crucial pour notre pays. We've got a lot of work to do on major projects, on affordability, on security in our communities, and I think we're working well together, but we've got more to do and get it done, and we're going to have a good conversation to move forward.
Good. Well, I look forward to it, and thank you, Prime Minister, for having me by. We're going to have a real productive meeting here, and as I mentioned to the Prime Minister and the Premiers before, we know President Trump's unpredictable. We have to find out what we need to do to make sure that we create the environment and the conditions for companies from around the world to continue investing in Canada.
Yeah.
And we'll have that discussion. But thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. Okay, merci beaucoup.
President Trump tends to be A, transactional and B, very personal. And sometimes he thinks, or maybe you know differently. Apparently they say that you're the Trump whisperer of the leaders.
I'm not
and
sure
that you're on texting, relations with him and you're constantly talking.
It's just so friggin' strange, gang. Like, Mark Carney has never done anything that he said he was going to do, or probably hasn't done any of the things that he said he did. Like, it's ridiculous. Now we're going to watch Doug Ford continue to complain about Donald Trump, saying it's the problem Canada faces. The problems Canadians face is our governments at all levels, man. This guy, Doug Ford, what a troll. Watch him.
Hey, that's something everyone can enjoy.
What did you talk about?
We're chatting here. Yeah. We'll just how to make sure that we have the most competitive market in the G7 by making sure that we reduce taxes, get rid of unnecessary regulatory burdens off the backs of companies, and compete. I've always said, that we can never predict what Donald Trump is going to do, but we can predict how we can create the environment and the conditions for companies to come here and invest in direct foreign investment. The numbers came out a little while ago. Mind you, it was 2024. We had 409 companies, 39.875 billion, and 25,000 jobs created in Ontario. But keep in mind, that's before Donald Trump. So we have to beat him at his own game and make sure that we're more competitive and onshore as many products as possible.
So did you guys agree to any concrete action on that front today?
We had a great discussion. Nothing happens immediately in that room, but we're on the same page. We have a great partnership, and we're going to work jointly together to make sure that we're competitive and we create jobs.
How likely is it, do you think, we're going to get a deal right now, percentage-wise? What would you put on the chances of Canada and the U.S. getting a trade deal?
Well, the main one is the USMCA CUSMA deal. That's really the main one. But in the meantime, we have to hold firm, and we have to create the environment. For instance, the steel sector. The steel sector, we have to look at the large infrastructure projects, shipbuilding. Where Algoma up in Ontario, they do the flatbed steel, and make sure that large-scale infrastructure projects like a pipeline, the steel pipes come from Ontario.
Was your sense from the Prime Minister now that Canada just has to accept that we're going to have tariffs from the United States until we renegotiate USMCA? Like, is there any movement on getting those removed?
Well, I won't speak for the Prime Minister. What I can tell you, we're united on the message of let's start worrying about how we can be competitive here. Donald Trump is so unpredictable. I don't even know if he knows what he's doing tomorrow morning. So let's start focusing on creating that environment.
But is there an acceptance? Is there an acceptance, I guess, from leaders that we'll just have the tariffs?
Again, the Prime Minister will speak on that, but the President is unpredictable. He'll come out with some cockamamie thing tomorrow that we don't even know about.
So
right?
do you think that Mark Carney is being too elbows down in response to that unpredictability?
Not at all. He's doing an incredible job. He's working collaboratively with 12 other premiers and myself, and working as Team Canada. And he's doing a very, very good job, in my opinion. Put in his position, dealing with Donald Trump. Let's stop worrying about Donald Trump. We'll start focusing on Ontario and Canada and all the other provinces and territories.
Premier, today is Pierre Poilievre's by-election. If he gets elected, I'm wondering, what's your advice to him going into the fall sitting of the Parliament?
Work with the Prime Minister.
How so?
Let's Team Canada. Let's put our political stripes aside and start working together collectively on large infrastructure projects, on other areas that he can cooperate with the government.
Last question. Would you have plans to meet with Poilievre to push that message and make sure that he is working with the Prime Minister?
All I want to do is move forward collectively as a government. I don't care about political stripes. The person I'm working with right now is the Prime Minister of the day, and as far as I'm concerned, he's doing a really, really good job considering the position he's been put in. I challenge anyone to try to deal with Donald Trump, myself included. He's a different type of cat, but we're united. We know what we need to do, And we know that we need to cut the regulatory burdens off of companies, lower taxes, put money back into people's pockets, support companies that need investment to grow and expand here, and onshore, the procurement side. It's absolutely critical.
Air Canada workers, anything for Air Canada workers. What's your message?
Well, everyone deserves a fair wage for a day's work. They order them back to work, and I think it has to be in the best interest of the workers, the company, and most importantly, the people of Canada. So I'm glad they'll be sitting down and talking, but let's keep the airlines moving.
Isn't it a complete disaster, though? I mean, we've got the unions refusing, the workers say they won't go back to work. We've got thousands of people stranded. They don't know how they're getting home. Like, this has not worked out, right?
That's up to the federal government to sit and make sure they sit down on the table. That always happens when you have labor issues. But they'll work it out. It's happened before, and they'll get things moving.
Okay, thanks everyone. Do you have any plans to go to DC anytime soon?
Not lately. I won't. But when they need me, I'll be down there, giving my colleague Howard Lutnick a little poke.
Oh, do you think he needs one?
He needs a couple more pokes than me. Don't worry, I'll poke him. Thanks, everyone.
Well, gang, we'll stick a fork in it right there. They're done. Like, we've got our big banker, successful negotiator, loser, Mark Carney. He's got his hash dealer, right-hand man, Doug Ford, like, telling Canadians, lying to them about how well things are going, that they've got some advantage or position in these negotiations. It's such a shame, and, oh, well, what are you going to do? I don't know what to say. Aaron, Canadian Looney, like, share, subscribe. Big election in Battle River, Crowfoot tonight for Pierre Poilievre. Let's see how that goes. Thank you for watching this video. We'll catch you in the next one. Aaron, Canadian Looney, like, share, subscribe. We're going up. Well, the channel kind of is. Things are in Canada. The Canadian politics are on the downslide, no doubt. Catch you in the next video. Trying to keep you informed. Aaron, Canadian Looney. Catch you in the next video.
Oh, yeah. Hi, everyone. Congratulations, you're spending more money on taxes than on food, clothing, and shelter combined.
How many kids did you molest in Jeffrey Epstein? More than just elbows. These are Muslim values. These are Canadian values.
Anyhow, what are you going to do? Trying to keep you informed. Aaron, Canadian Looney, trying to hit 30,000 subs. Help me get there. Thank you for watching this video. We'll catch you in the next one. Later, gang.